welcome to Kody and Korbin Have a Podcast, the show where two roommates, Korbin and Kody, give their unfiltered opinion on one movie every week. This week on the show, we're going to be talking about The Departed.
When I was your age, they would say we could become cops or criminals. What I'm saying is this. When you're facing a loaded gun, what's the difference?
This is not the regular police. This is the state police.
We are an elite unit.
This is who we're after.
Frank Costello.
You won't be paid as a regular cop, but there's a bonus involved.
So what do I do?
You will not ever know the identity of undercover people.
You have anyone in with Costello presently?
Maybe,
Do you know who I am?
maybe not.
I'm gonna have my associates search you.
That was quick.
As always, I'm Corbin Zvokel.
I'm also here, Kody Webb, co-host, episode 6, I believe.
Yeah, chugging right along. 6 episodes straight, coming at you every Tuesday.
Yes, sir. So yeah, we did the Departed this week. Aforementioned, it was my pick. Finally, in between two of other people's movies that
It's true.
we're all right movies, but they're not The Departed.
For sure.
And yeah, I basically just picked this. I don't know. This might be one of the movies I've seen the most. Like, I don't know why I saw it. I don't even know when I first saw it. It was probably like 8th grade, which I probably shouldn't have watched this movie.
Probably not.
But I think I've seen it at least like 10 times. I don't know. It's something about just rewatchable movies that I really like. Like even though this movie's like 2.5 hours long, I feel like it doesn't feel that long. So yeah, that's why I picked it. I think it's great for the memes. The whole Boston scene. I'm not the fucking rat. Where'd you park the car? Just all the Boston stuff I love. But yeah, let's start with you. Initial thoughts this week, 'cause I always start. Or you wanna say something else?
Yeah, so the first time I ever watched this movie was actually just last year with you guys.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
I remember Jake came and visited, and we were talking about like what's the greatest movie endings, and he brought up The Departed, and I'd never seen The Departed, and you're like, oh, that's a fucking great movie.
Good movie.
And the ending's great, so I think we watched it pretty quickly after that, and then I've probably seen it another 2 or 3 times just in like the year since then. And like you said, it's super rewatchable. Even though you know exactly what's gonna happen at the end, it still is able to like keep you interested, and like it still builds the suspense. And there's almost that wonder of like maybe something will happen differently this time.
You're dumb.
But no, I think it's a really well crafted gangster crime movie. I don't love those type of movies usually, but I think this one does enough to like kind of move outside of the genre a little bit. I like the introduction of like the double agent on both sides. I think it's really interesting. I mean, essentially this movie is one giant cat and mouse game, or maybe cat and rat game.
Rat and rat game.
Rat and rat game, where two people are just like constantly looking for each other, and it's very engaging.
Yeah, it's a really good premise, and I think the script is really what carries it. I mean, it's just a fun movie. Like, it is serious and it's intense at times, but it's just fun to watch. I don't know, the script, the quips, it feels like Sorkin wrote this, which he didn't, but it feels like one of his movies. And yeah, I think the pacing was really good at the beginning. It's basically just like 10-15 minutes, you know everybody, you know the story, and boom, you're in it. Like, automatically, he's in. Like, both the rats are put in place very quickly. You know their motives. You know the bad guys. You know the good guys. Also, just a random thing. The soundtrack in this is undefeated. Obviously, you got the Irish song, whatever that's called.
Shipping Up to Boston by the Dropkick Murphys.
Yeah, you wouldn't know that, you loser. You also have the Rolling... Yeah, that's a good song. You also have the Rolling Stones, Ooh, Trilla.
I got beef with that song. And
That's a
we'll
great
get into
song.
that
And
later.
oh yeah, the song where Leo's porking his girlfriend. That's a good song too. And then the bagpipes are just iconic. Like, it's a great soundtrack.
It fits very well.
Yeah,
I think like maybe by itself without the movie, it's an okay soundtrack, but I think it plays into the movie.
in the
really
context, yeah, it's great.
well.
But yeah, those are my initial thoughts.
The only other thing, I mean, obviously we were talking about the ending. The ending is just absolutely insane. It probably is one of my favorite movie endings. Also, just like really solid acting all throughout. There's only, I think, one dark spot in this movie that we'll.
There's not a lot. I don't think anybody's bad in this movie. You know, you might have a different opinion.
We'll get there, but
this film's a masterpiece, bro.
Some like really, first of all, high profile people like, even it's early 2000s, but if you got Leo and Matt Damon, plus Alec Baldwin, plus Martin Sheen. Jack Nicholson, who's like one of the all-time greats.
Those leading three, it's actually kind of crazy they're in a movie together. Damon, Nicholson, and Leo.
And then, of course...
That's big-time names.
Mark Wahlberg thrown in there, too. Anthony Anderson.
Anthony Anderson's good, too, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of small, like, roles. Alec Baldwin's great in this, too. Like, smaller roles by, like, really good actors.
And I was reading... This could have been a trivia thing, but I'll just say it now, because I didn't include it in the trivia. This movie had like a $90 million budget, and over half of that was paying the actors' salaries because they're just like big name people in this movie.
That makes sense.
They have a lot of draw and a lot of money put into them.
There's not like a lot of sets or anything too. It's basically Matt Damon's apartment, the police station, and then the building at the end. Like that's the main places. But yeah, that's fine. Everybody got paid for this movie. They got their dues, I guess. But yeah.
Yeah, and for such great acting. No, other than
Wahlberg got a nom.
Other than Wahlberg, he's
which
the
is
only
very
nominee.
deserved.
And this again is a trivia thing, but I didn't put it in. So the studio that made this movie, I'm not sure which one it was, didn't want to push Leo they didn't want to separate him from the rest of the cast, so they didn't do a lot of campaigning for him to be best actor. And then they ended up the same studio produced Blood Diamond, so he did get a nomination that year for Blood Diamond, which is a worst performance and worst movie, but whatever.
That's the one where he's like an accent.
Yeah, he plays like a South African arms dealer or something.
It's alright.
It's okay, but this is definitely better. And then, Damon is also really great in this, and we'll talk more about the acting here in a little bit. So, I guess we might as well get into it. What's the stupidest part of this movie, Kody?
You stupid.
All right. I mean, like I said before, this is a fun movie, but there are some dumb parts. The first one and the most obvious that I actually have a gripe with is where they're at the Sting and Matt Damon didn't know about it, and they're like, "Oh, we're tracking their cell phones," and he's in his pocket. Like it's like the old phones too, where you had to type. If you wanted like the letter
this
X,
man is an expert texter.
If you wanted letter X, you had to click that button like 3 times to get that. And he's like in his phone typing out
an intricate messages.
Yeah, that's bullshit. Obviously, I mean that doesn't make any sense. So that's my first dumb part. Also, sort of just an overall thing. Costello being an informant to the FBI. I mean, it makes sense. I think it's kind of a cop out though. I think you could have just not had that in at all and just be like, oh, he's shifty. We couldn't get our hands on him or whatever. But for him to be protected, I don't know. It's kind of a cop out to me. And yeah, my last one is I don't even know what it is. It's the whole Matt Damon like not being able to perform like in the bedroom. That's kind of just thrown in there for no reason. And yeah, it's like implied that Leo impregnates Vera Farmiga. I don't even know her name in this movie.
Madeline,
sure, the counselor. I thought that was kind of weird to be involved. It's sort of like
it just seems unnecessary.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be in there at all.
That is also the first thing I wrote down. Matt Damon's impotence in this movie is a little strange. And I think I was reading somewhere that it's like supposed to be like a direct, counter to Nicholson's character's extreme macho attitude, and like I don't know.
It's a strange
it doesn't
choice.
seem necessary. It definitely feels weird in the context of the movie. There's some scenes, a lot of Nicholson stuff in this movie that just seems weird. So this is just another one of those things where it's like, you could probably take that out and this movie would be just as good or better.
Yeah,
the only thing it does is plant that seed that like, oh, maybe that's Leo's baby because, Matt Damon can't get it up. So
good for
it's
Leo,
tough.
I guess.
Yeah, I mean, that dude's dead. They're both dead, so it doesn't really matter.
Who isn't dead, honestly?
And then I do agree the phone thing's very stupid. Also, I hate, and I think you like this, I hate the shot of the rat at the end of the movie. The rat's on the balcony. First of all, CGI rat. Can't even get a real rat. The CGI rat.
It's hard to teach rats to do that.
It's the most on-the-nose BS. Like, this movie is so great. And then and it just pisses me off because it is.
I don't know why that makes you so mad. It's just like direct symbolism. Like it's pounding you on the head with it. I don't think it's bad. I like that ending.
I'd rather it ends just same shot, no rat, looking at the golden dome, because I like the symbolism of that and like the way it appears throughout the movie. Him like constantly looking up to it, but I hate that fucking rat. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that has gotten a lot of backlash. I think I don't really understand it. They've made like edits to the movie where they've taken it out.
Really?
So it is CGI, so you just take it out. But yeah, I kind of like it. It's just like a fun ending. Like, you know, the rat got what he deserved. Like,
I just feel like this movie seems so above that. And maybe I'm putting too much into this movie.
Maybe.
But like, it just seems like a fucking. Like, really, Martin Scorsese just did that? I don't like it.
I like that a lot. Yeah, I think you're just in your own head on that one.
Yeah, maybe. All right, we're going to move on to our favorite character.
She is very gorgeous to me!
I'll start here. I think it's Dignam. I don't love Mark Wahlberg as a person, but I think in this role, he's absolutely perfect, and I can't imagine anybody else playing this character. And I probably wouldn't like this character as much if it's not Mark Wahlberg with the insane accent and the quotes that this guy has. He's definitely, every quote he has is something that you remember after the movie. I got two written down here. There's the one where it's when him and Queenan are talking to Leo about if he wants to really be a cop. Are you a cop?
Not a cop.
But Leo says like a Nathaniel Hawthorne quote or something. And Dignam responds, "What's the matter, smartass? You don't know any fucking Shakespeare?"
Yeah.
Which is good. And then there's the scene where they, don't have the video cameras up and they can't see Costello's crew, and he's like, "I'm the guy who does his job. You must be the other guy." And I think that's really quotable. And just like also at the end of the movie when he comes in with the booties and he's got the gun and he shoots Matt Damon, like that's iconic.
So badass, dude. Yeah.
I've got my poster on the wall of all the movie shots, and it's that one of Mark Wahlberg with the gun.
Yeah, I mean, he's great in this. I agree with everything he's saying. I had another quote that I wrote down for him. There's so many, but yeah, the one I wrote down, you deal with the FBI and mushrooms the same way. Feed him shit and keep him in the dark.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know, like everything that comes out of his mouth is great.
There's another one, and I'm gonna misquote it because I didn't write it down, but I think he's talking to Alec Baldwin's character, or maybe to Matt Damon's, and he's talking about like fucking your mother, and then he's like, "How's your dad doing?" And he's like, "Fine, fuck it." He's like,
Yeah.
Or, "How's your mom?" "She's fucking my dad."
Yeah, it's like, fuck, I just remembered and I lost it. It was what's the beginning of it? How's your mother? Oh no, he's like, I think he asked Baldwin, "How's your mother?" And he goes, "No, it's something. I fucking had it and I lost it." Yeah, the ending is, how's your mother? Tired from fucking my father or something.
I don't know. Captain Alec Baldwin's character says, "Go fuck yourself," and then Sergeant Dignam says, "I'm tired from fucking your wife."
That's it.
And then Ellerby replies, "How's your mother?" Good,
Tired
she's
from
tired from fucking my father.
Yeah. But yeah, moving on.
Also, maybe not. Maybe fuck yourself.
My favorite character, I have an honorable mention of Frank Costello. I mean, he's just an absolute piece of human trash, but I love watching him in this movie, dude. Jack Nicholson just goes all out. This is the most committed I think I've ever seen anybody do a role. Like, I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if Jack Nicholson was actually like an actual psychopath after watching this movie.
Well, he might be a little bit.
But yeah, probably. But yeah, my pick for my favorite character is Frenchie. That dude is a subtle badass. That dude is the coolest guy in the movie, no doubt. Where he's calling Leo, "Oh, is it your period?" After cranberry dude's badass, and then he beats the crap out of dude anyways.
I like in that scene, he's like, "I'm the guy. There's guys you can hit, and there's guys you can't."
Yeah. But yeah, that dude's
That's
great.
not a guy that you can't hit, but it's also not a guy.
In between. Yeah, I don't even know who plays him. I don't think I've seen him in much else, but I think that's just an underrated character in this movie. Frenchie's a guy. But yeah, that's my pick.
Yeah, very nice. Proud of you. Ray Winstone.
Oh yeah, I saw his name in the credits. I was like, who is that? He's French.
You want to kick it away with your least favorite character as well?
Yeah, I was trying to think hard about this one. I don't have a ton of least favorite characters in this movie. I just went with a minor character, his coke dealing cousin.
I like him.
Just a slimy character.
Cousin Sean.
Yeah, Sean's his name. Like when Leo comes to his house, he's back from a funeral, which like doesn't really make sense. Like that's just a really big coincidence. But yeah, he doesn't really do anything. Leo just kind of yells at him for 10 minutes and then he's out of the movie. So yeah, I went with coke dealer cousin.
Yeah, stop making coke deals with your idiot cousin.
Yeah,
it's great.
Who's your least favorite character?
Ellerby, which is Alec Baldwin's character. You know something about this movie?
What?
I don't know like any of the character names.
No.
You don't really feel like you just don't make those connections as much with this movie, which is weird. Yeah, I think he's my least favorite of the police officers. He doesn't really do a whole lot. Like he's in charge of Matt Damon, but then even Matt Damon like gets a promotion and is above him. He takes Dignan
Matt Damon's he's not above him.
He ends up being. He's investigating everyone. If he can investigate,
No, he's not. Alec Baldwin's at the golf place, and he's like, "This is your new promotion." So he's promoting him.
He's promoting him to a position where he can investigate anybody, including Captain.
Yeah, but he's
Queen.
Not investigating him.
Well, he should have.
Matt Damon's not his boss.
Ellerby. That dude was suspicious.
He had an immaculate record. What are you talking about?
No, I just didn't like him. I feel like there was a really weird interplay between like the tension between Queenan's boys and then like Ellerby's department, and they're all working together but also separate, and I thought it was really strange. But
yeah, undercover is like a different division.
Right, yeah.
I don't understand that pick at all, dude. Alec Baldwin is great in this movie.
I mean, I like Alec Baldwin. I just don't like his character.
He's just the boss. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. He's just the boss. He's not that cool.
Fair enough, dude. No comment. Next question.
All right, who can act?
Wow.
This is gonna come as no
start.
surprise.
Oh, let me start.
Oh, okay.
I got Mark Wahlberg as Bingham, dude.
Okay.
Bouncing off what you said earlier, so quotable, so badass. I think he's the best in this movie, and there's so many good actors in the movie. And I mean, this is by far Mark Wahlberg's best performance. Like, what else has he actually been good in?
Bro, you don't like him in Ted or Patriots?
Okay. I haven't seen Patriots Day. I'm sure he's fine in Ted.
No, he's not.
Dude, he's so bad in so many things, though.
He's
like
not
Signs, The Happening.
He's also like commits hate crimes against
Transformers. Well, I didn't know about that. That's tough.
Yeah, he like
maybe I should change my pick.
Beat up some Asian people because he.
Did he really?
Yeah, when he's like 17. He's like had 2 hate crimes.
All right. Well, Mark Wahlberg's not my pick anymore. He's terrible. No, for real. I think he probably should have won the Oscar. I don't know who he's up against, but I mean, I don't think anybody's better that year in movies. Speaking objectively, but yeah, I had a couple more. Obviously, Leo's good. I think you're going to talk a lot more about him because you're a fanboy. Just sort of his whole shifty, uneven spy, his act, where then he is actually like super uneven, like in the head. I thought that was great from him. And then, yeah, I also had Alec Baldwin as an honorable mention as well. Him freaking out on the guy who messed up the camera. So it's great. It just like, it's such a sudden turn. He's like, hey, can I talk to you for a second? And he starts beating the crap out of him. But yeah, I don't think anybody's like actually bad in this movie. So I would say the entire cast, but those are my main picks.
I'm gonna say Leo, and the reason is I like Wahlberg's great, Baldwin's great, Damon is great. The thing is, especially with Damon and Wahlberg, is they're Boston boys, right? This is natural for them. The accent, the everything about it is just like essentially who they were growing up with you know, especially for Wahlberg.
True. Yeah. And Damon.
But like Wahlberg's a little bit more like the dirtbag.
Yeah.
And Damon, I guess, is a little bit more of the poster good boy, you know, even if he hasn't actually.
Still a Boston boy.
Yeah, still Boston guys. And Leo isn't. So I think what Leo does in this movie is more impressive. There's also I feel like Leo plays a lot of like super confident and like suave characters who can like get away with anything. And in this movie, he's going away from that a little bit, and he's playing this super unstable character who's essentially having a panic attack for the entire movie. There's a great quote. You sit there with a mass murderer, your heart rate is jacked and your hand steady. That's one thing I figured out about myself in prison. My hand does not shake ever. But I think his hand does end up shaking quite a lot in this movie. He's really going through it. And I think he has a lot more work to do in this movie as opposed to Matt Damon, who is obviously his opposite. So here's the question. You switch Leo and Matt Damon in this movie. Can the other play the other's part?
It's a good question. I don't know if Damon could pull off what Leo did. I think they could probably switch the other way. I think it's easier to be a dick. Like, I think Leo could pull off Damon's role in that sense. But yeah, sort of just like the unevenness, like I said, of Leo, where he's acting within his acting. I don't know, like that's tough to do. And like you said before, he's not even a Boston boy, so like he's not in as deep, I guess, as Damon would be into that. I don't know. What do you think? That's a good question.
I think Leo can play Damon's role.
Yeah.
Because like I was saying, it fits into a little bit more of the type of role he traditionally was playing a lot. Matt Damon, I think, struggles in Leo's position.
I don't think he could pull off some of his lines.
No.
So, I'm not the fucking writer.
And I think
you know who I am. You know who
Damon's
I am.
not much of a tough guy in this movie. Like, I mean,
no, he's kind of a coward. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He's very like hides behind who he is and the people he has that support him, and makes everyone else do the dirty work for him. And Leo in this movie is getting down and dirty.
Well, I mean, that's just their different roles,
right? But I don't think Matt Damon pulls that off as well.
That's fair.
All right, who can't act?
It's my opinion!
Again, this was hard. I said Vera Farmiga's accent. That was kind of floppy at times. I think she's like not even American. I'm pretty sure she's from some other nationality. Could be wrong. I also said Martin Sheen. He's all right. I mean, he's not bad. He doesn't really have anything to do. But my pick is
She is American. By the way.
She is American. Well, tough. I said
She's also a Leo. Her star sign.
I don't care about star signs.
She's from New Jersey.
Oh, New Jersey. All right. Yeah, but my pick was the other rat cop. I don't even know his name in real life or in the movie.
I don't even remember him in the movie until the scene where he's suddenly is also an informant. Like, he doesn't really do much.
He's kind of just there the entire time. I think the actor made some interesting choices at times, but also
tell me why I didn't turn you.
Yeah, his haircut also just pisses me off. So that's my worst actor in this movie. I don't know. I think Vera Farmiga probably gets the most hate, I'd say, from this movie. I don't think she's bad. But yeah, I'll go with the rat cop, whatever his name is. Who's your worst actor?
Well, he's not super well known, but his name is Jack Nicholson. And he's not very good in this movie.
He should have gotten an Oscar, in all honesty.
His accent is terrible. It is the worst.
He sounds like Jack Nicholson.
He doesn't sound like an Irish dude from Boston whatsoever. He does once or twice.
Yeah, he's talking like himself. He doesn't really have an accent.
But he should. His character, he's trying to do an accent at some points, and it comes through. But then for 3/4 of the movie, it's just not there. At least be consistent. He's not consistent with it whatsoever. You can't tell me that.
I don't even think he has an accent in this movie. So.
He tries to do it at a couple points, and it's really bad. And then he just completely drops it in other parts.
Okay, so it's Vera Farmiga, but gone.
Yeah, I don't think she's that great either. But yeah, I just think the accent's terrible, and he is definitely committed to the role. But I wish he wasn't. I wish he would.
That's it. That's all you got against
I
Jack
wish he would
Nicholson?
tone it down. That man is.
He's going all out.
And he should stop. He really shouldn't. It's bad.
Oh, you gotta bring out specifics for this, dude. I'm ready to fight. Dude, Jack Nicholson is insane in this movie.
Yeah, he is insane, and I hate it.
That's the role.
I really just don't like Jack Nicholson. I don't like
boss.
Jack Nicholson in anything, to be entirely honest with you.
I haven't seen him in anything.
He's not a. He's One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Yeah, Batman. The Shining. I mean, it's a classic, but I don't think he's not that great.
Whoa, I think you just got a gripe against Jack Nicholson.
I really don't. I think he's really bad in this movie.
How? Just because he has a spotty accent? Lots of people in this movie have that. You didn't give any specifics. I don't know. I can't really argue with you, I guess.
Fair enough.
You're just saying he's bad and not providing any evidence, bro. Tough. All right, you want to move on?
I mean,
I don't know what you want me to say. It's my word against yours right now. I mean, we have nothing to say.
I think that so okay, a lot of his character is like improvised from Jack Nicholson, and I don't really like his character, and I don't like the direction that they took it. It's not even the writing; it's what Jack Nicholson chose to do. There's a lot of things randomly he does in this movie that I really don't like. I don't like when he pulls out the dildo in the porn theater. Like, you can't tell me that was in the script. That dude had to come up with that.
What?
All of his interactions with women in this
anything.
movie, I hate. No. Like, I did read that a lot of what he did was improvised.
He whipped out a fucking dildo.
I don't know about that part, but
I don't buy it.
he came up with a lot of the ideas for his character.
He doesn't really do that much in this movie. He kind of just intimidates Leo and does cocaine and stuff. I mean, he goes to the opera once.
Yeah, he's just a weirdo. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it when he's around women. That makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, he's just a scumbag. That's his character, though. That's not Jack Nicholson in real life. That's whatever his name is, Frank Costello.
Let's move on. Now we're gonna be moving on to Kody versus.
Ding ding.
Yep. Beautiful. I'm just gonna start. No chance you win this movie. First of all, the only winner of this movie, I guess, is Dignam. But even then, he like is murdering people, and he's probably never gonna like be like legally. He's in legal trouble if he ever gets caught, right?
I think he's just gone.
Yeah, that dude's in the wind.
Yeah.
So, and you're also not Dignam in this movie.
No, I'm Leo.
You're either Leo or Matt Damon, and either way, you're a fucking.
Why would I be
loser.
Matt Damon?
Yeah, you're right. You can't be Matt Damon. Yeah, sure. You're Leo, and you crack under pressure. That you can't handle.
You know what? You want to know what I wrote down for this?
What?
I said, I probably wouldn't win the movie because I'd be freaking out the entire time. And then, to add on to what you just said, I don't have that steady hand that Leo has. It's the first time Jack Nicholson confronts me about being the rat, dude. I would be fucking sweating my ass off, shaking, and be like, "I'm not the rat."
He punches you in the hand one time with that broken hand.
That's actually pretty messed up. Leo broke his hand, freaking hitting some dude with a coat hanger. Then the next day they roll up and just beat the crap out of his broken hand. I mean, I'd probably just leave town. I mean, I don't know, half hour in the movie.
The constant fear of being found out.
Oh yeah. I feel like I'm super a nervous person too. I'd legit have just anxiety.
They'd probably just, even if you weren't a rat, they'd probably still think you were too suspicious.
I wouldn't get recruited to begin with, but so I lose 5 minutes in the movie. 'Cause the undercover cops wouldn't want me. Jack Nicholson wouldn't want me. Also, the police academy probably wouldn't want me. So I'm probably out on all accounts. So I think this is the most devastating loss I've had so far out of all the movies we picked.
You don't make it 2.5 hours into this movie.
I don't make it a half hour into this movie. Yeah, at least with Gone Girl, which was another resounding loss. At least I made it, till the end. I was gonna get killed or thrown in jail. This, I'm dead instantly, probably.
Right.
So
yeah,
tough loss.
So we're sitting 6 episodes in, about 2, 2, and 2. So
still 500, maybe. We'll ride that line as long as you can.
Maybe a playoff berth in your future.
If I'm in the East, yeah.
What to add to Fortnite?
It's the guy from Fortnite!
What are we thinking?
Wow, it's the guy from Fortnite. I have a couple. I'll start off that final building where they throw Martin Sheen off and everybody gets shot. I think that'd actually be a cool location. If you put that where what Tilted Towers used to be, if you put that building right in the middle, I think that'd be pretty sick. It's really tall. You got lots of wood and metal just lying around, so you can chop that, get some materials, and you could shove people out the windows. They can make some sort of special animation in honor of this movie for that, where you fall backwards and land on your back. That's my first pick. You can go ahead.
I don't actually have I only have one thing. I think it'd be a Dignam skin, but him at the end with the blue gloves and the booties. I think that'd be badass to be walking around Fortnite with that, man. I see that coming. I'm terrified. I like the building thing. There's kind of just a lot of buildings in Fortnite, though. Like, I don't know if it would be that different from anything else.
It doesn't have to. It fits in perfectly. Exactly.
Like, it already looks like what they have in Salty right now.
Yeah, but my other pick was similar to yours. The special shoes that Dignam has in hand. They're not special, but like they'd be special in Fortnite to wear.
Something you can pick up.
Yeah, you can like pick them up and put them on, and then people can't hear you walking up.
Interesting.
I think I actually had really good picks this week for Fortnite. This is the best I've done for the Fortnite category.
I think my next category is the best I've done thus far. So
what category?
Are you done with Fortnite?
Yeah, I'm done.
So we're gonna move on to replacing an actor or director.
You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired.
This is funny. I did good at Fortnite this week. I think my picks for this movie are terrible for this category. All right. So maybe we just switched roles somehow. Maybe. Let's hear yours.
All right. So I pick Anthony Hopkins to step in for the role of Jack Nicholson in this movie. He's gonna have a spotty accent too, though. That was your only gripe with Jack Nicholson. So I think Jack Nicholson had a really great start to his career, and was really good in his younger years. And then as he got older, things started to get a lot worse. Unlike that, Anthony Hopkins still putting out banger performances. He's probably he's nominated for an Oscar this year. He's nominated for an Oscar last year. Like, the guy's still doing great work. So I think as an older actor, he can play a crazy serial killer. We've seen it before. I think he can play a crazy guy who's a mob boss here, and I'd really like to see what he could do. I think he's just a better actor than Jack Nicholson, but he can also, play crazy just like Jack Nicholson. So I think it's Jack Nicholson, but better.
I do think that actually is a good pick. The only thing, he's like British, isn't he? So that'd probably be hard.
Played Americans. It's fine.
Yeah, not Silence of the Lambs. He was good. Obviously, that wasn't British. But yeah, I mean, you're saying he's a better actor than Jack Nicholson. He's probably a better actor than anybody on the planet, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, he's like one of the greatest actors of all time.
That dude's got chops. Yeah, I'd actually like to see him working with Scorsese. It'd be interesting. I feel like every year he's nominated for like best actor, but I haven't seen any of the movies. I think it was like Two Popes last year.
Yeah, I think he's in a movie called
this year's
Father.
Yeah, he was an old man with like dementia or something. So he like goes into really super serious roles, like with lots of depth behind him as well. So yeah, I think that's an interesting pick. My first pick, I said I don't think anybody else on Costello's team other than Frenchie and then obviously Leo really like had anything to give to the movie. So I said just replace one of those guys with Dave Bautista. Give me some muscle. Give me some muscle in his group. I want to see this dude just beat the crap out of somebody in this context. Give me the worst accent Dave Bautista has got. Throw him in this movie. Instead of Frenchie shooting that like really rich guy who like threw the toy or whatever, just give me Dave Bautista just beating the crap out of that guy.
This is definitely a weak for you.
What? That's a good pick.
That's a terrible pick.
This movie needs more beef.
That dude's, first of all, Dave Bautista is too young.
I'm saying Dave Bautista now. We're not saying...
No. I know now. I think he's too young now.
What? He's like 40.
And how old do you think Frenchie is? That dude's probably like 50.
No, I don't want to replace Frenchie. I want to replace somebody else in his crew.
Any muscle. Okay.
Oh, yeah, whatever. The guy who got killed at the end. And,
okay.
Like, they said he was a cop.
I feel like you're on the right track. I don't know WWE wrestlers very well, but I feel like there's probably another wrestler that would be better.
I'll give you that. Also,
what about Ric Flair?
He'd probably be better. But I kind of want to see that. I'm not gonna lie. Back to back weeks, we're talking about wrestlers too.
Dave Bautista ever done anything serious? I don't know.
He's good in Guardians. He's in
yeah, but he's like comic relief.
He's in Spectre.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
He's in a new movie coming out.
Yeah, I mean he's basically like
he's an action guy.
Yeah, Fast and Furious. Like,
yeah,
he's
exactly.
Rock.
Give him a chance to do something a tiny bit more serious. Where he still gets to have fun in the role.
Fair enough.
Do you have another pick or no?
No, I don't.
Okay, I have another one. This one might be worse than Dave Bautista, so hold your horses here. I said Martin Sheen was all right. I say we replace him with Morgan Freeman. But not Morgan Freeman now, like not Evan Almighty or whatever. I want The 7th.
It's not now. That's
I was like
12
10
years
years
ago.
ago.
That was like around the time this movie came out.
Okay, he's in nothing now. I want the
Bruce Almighty.
7 Morgan Freeman.
Okay.
The low-key detective who's like he's sort of like a similar character to Martin Sheen, where he's grounded, but I don't think Martin Sheen plays off Dignam or Mark Wahlberg like at all in this movie. It's always Mark Wahlberg says something funny, then Martin Sheen's like
he just like ignores it.
Yeah.
You have to get used to it.
I think Morgan Freeman has that, you know, a little bit of comedy in him to be like, oh, this dude's a dick, but like we still have your back. Where Martin Sheen sort of just ignores him the entire time.
Okay, so now we're gonna move on to the IMDb trivia.
Can't believe you only had one pick for that.
Right. Naked grandma. Naked, huh?
I usually.
You were talking yourself up as a great guy.
Well, I had a great. I mean, the thing about this movie is though, everyone is pretty perfect for the role.
Yeah. Next week, I'm just gonna, you know, take Anthony Hopkins and throw him in any role, and I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm a great casting director. That's an easy choice, I guess.
Okay, Anthony. We know Anthony Hopkins can kind of play like a crazy guy who's unstable.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick him next week, and I'll be a great casting director. You disappoint me again. So.
So you know, Martin Scorsese actually really wanted Al Pacino for the role of Costello. What do you think about that?
He probably would have. I think he would have been worse than Jack Nicholson, but he probably would have been all right.
He doesn't do the crazy as well, but
Yeah.
I mean, obviously he can play a gangster. That they hadn't worked together at that point, so but Jack Nicholson was his second choice, and obviously here we go. I don't know how true this is, or how true this is now, but this is the only remake of a foreign film to then go on and win Best Picture.
I think that's probably true. Internal Affairs, I believe that's called.
Yeah.
Which is pretty.
I just don't know if since then it has changed.
That kind of sucks for people who made Internal Affairs, I'm not going to lie. Like, America stole this movie with one of their best directors, and they're getting all these awards for it.
Yeah.
I feel like they weren't even recognized.
I don't think
the process of all that.
I think it said Martin never even watched that movie before making this one. So,
I mean, it's the same basic concept, which is a really interesting one. So that makes sense if you didn't watch it. But
Vera Farmiga met with a real LAPD psychiatrist to prepare for the role, and when the psychiatrist read the script, he basically told her that everything that the character does is wrong.
Yeah.
Which is,
I mean, she just gives Leo pills on no basis at all.
He says he's gonna kill himself.
That she sleeps with him, so that's good too. So.
I like it.
Yeah.
They actually cast Brad Pitt as Colin Sullivan. Matt Damon's role.
Yeah.
But then he dropped out to go make Babel, which is not a great movie. But
he was a producer, I believe.
Yeah, he did. His company Plan B continued to produce the
also,
film.
I don't think he could have pulled off the dick thing. I think Brad Pitt's too charismatic.
Brad Pitt's a little too old too.
Yeah, that's probably true as well.
If you're gonna compare him to Leo, where they're supposed to kind of be contemporaries,
right?
Yeah, I don't think it works well. This is the third time that Martin Scorsese has used the "Gimme Shelter" by the Rolling Stones. That song you love so much.
I used it a lot.
He's used it. First of all, he uses it twice in this movie, I think.
Yeah, he does.
He also used it in Goodfellas and Casino. People, I feel like film bros and film Twitter people give Scorsese a lot of crap for that because it's like he just uses that song in all of his movies. And then in this movie, he even uses it twice.
Sure. It's a really good song though, so I don't mind.
The F word and all forms of it are used 238 times in this movie, which actually only makes
insane,
it the 36th most.
It's got to be
film.
Wolf of Wall Street's number one, right?
Sure. Yeah, it's up there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's number one because they say it a ridiculous amount of times in that movie.
Yeah, I think it's like 500 in the Wolf of Wall Street.
236 is ridiculous though.
Wolf of Wall Street is third behind a documentary titled Fuck, and then one called SwearNet.
Ooh, Uncut Gems is up there too.
Uncut Gems, yeah, is fourth with 560, and the Wolf of Wall Street 569.
So actual movies, that Wolf of Wall Street is first.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Which Casino. So I mean, Scorsese loves his F words. Wolf of Wall Street, Casino.
End of Watch.
Goodfellas is 15. This movie obviously 36, like I said. All of his movies are
Reservoir Dogs is on there. Pulp Fiction right next to it, yeah. Interesting. Good utilization of the F word, I guess.
Yeah, very proud.
Scorsese thing.
So this is actually a little bit of a callback to our first podcast episode. We talked about the Gone Girl situation where Ben Affleck was supposed to wear a New York Yankees hat. In this movie, Jack Nicholson was supposed to wear a Red Sox hat, but he refused to do it because he hates Boston sports teams. Because he used to like the Lakers.
Yeah, he still likes the Lakers, I think.
Yeah, he's a big Lakers fan.
He goes to all their games.
Always has been a Lakers fan. And obviously, they have beef with the Celtics. So he refuses to wear a Red Sox hat when, I don't even think he's a Dodgers fan. That's it, maybe. But
yeah, he probably just doesn't like Boston.
Doesn't like Boston sports. So he wouldn't do it. I don't think he shut down production over it.
Yeah. He wasn't a complete asshole. He's just like, I'm not going to wear it.
Yeah. I feel like, I guess Jack Nicholson says he doesn't wear a hat. You probably just let Jack Nicholson not wear the hat. And then finally, this is one of 5 collaborations between Leonardo DiCaprio and Martin Scorsese. Is this the best one? That's the question.
I mean, personally, I would say yes. I would say you'd probably say no.
I think I like
Wolf of Wall Street more.
I honestly think this is probably tied for second. I really like Shutter Island a lot.
Oh, you think that's... Oh, wow.
I like Shutter Island a lot, and I like... obviously, I think Wolf of Wall Street is my favorite. But yeah, I would put this in Shutter Island second. I do not like Gangs of New York whatsoever.
Yeah, that's not great.
And then I can't even...
Leo was super young in that.
Can't even think what the last one is, but...
Yeah, that's interesting. I probably would have Shutter Island lower, but I still like that movie. Leo's really good in it. I actually have a... I don't know if it's like an IMDb trivia, but I just have something for this category. Yeah, I think a couple times in the movie, especially...
The Aviator.
The Aviator.
Yeah, that's alright.
I'd probably put that above Shutter Island, actually. I like that movie. But yeah, especially at the beginning with his coke cop, like I was talking about. I think there's sort of the myth of you have to say you're a cop if you're a cop. And they do that multiple times in the movies. And I actually did some in-depth research on this. And it is, in fact, a myth. So, I don't know why that's in so many, movies and stuff. It's in a bunch of TV shows, I think, as well, where if you are, an undercover cop and somebody asks you, the myth is you have to say yes, which is just not true at all. But, yeah, that's my IMDb trivia. I don't commit much. I don't do much for this category, but I thought I'd bring that along this week. So yeah. And
then also Scorsese and Leo are working on a new movie together, Killers of the Flower Moon, which Leo was supposed to play the lead role in that movie, and then he ended up stepping down to play a smaller supporting role. And then Jesse Plemons, I don't know if you know.
Who's that?
He plays a character in Game Night. People really love him. This is Jesse Plemons. Pretty good actor, but yeah, he's married to. He's actually married to Kirsten Dunst.
Wow, he's settled for that.
Connections everywhere. But
can't believe.
Yeah, he's the lead in the next Martin Scorsese.
He married somebody less pretty than Vanna, dude. That's tough.
I don't think we said that.
That's what Connor said.
Better act. Oh, he said he was prettier than
Vanna.
That's tough. All right. So yeah, that's the end of our trivia category. Now we're gonna move on to our ratings for this movie.
You're gonna look at me and you're gonna tell me that I'm wrong? Am I wrong? It's my favorite.
Kody, I'll let you take it away.
What are we rating this out
of? 69.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. So in context for the past movies, my highest rating was a 67 for Moonlight, the last episode. Go check that out if you haven't seen that. And I believe my second highest was a 63 for The Princess Bride. 64 it was?
Yeah.
Okay. Change it to a 63. I'm bumping it down one. So yeah, Princess Bride's a 63 now. Clear that up. I'm going straight down in the middle here. I'm going 65 out of 69. Yeah, like I've said, everything I've said. Super tight script. Obviously the acting is really good. Yeah, it's one of the more rewatchable movies. One of my favorites. So yeah. I think 65 out of 69 is a good spot for it. It's not obviously up to the technical or sort of themes of Moonlight, but I think it's definitely above the nostalgic factor of Princess Bride. So yeah, what's your rating out of 69?
Yeah, so I gave Gone Girl a 55, and then I gave Moonlight a 65. So I'm gonna throw this movie right in the middle between those two.
Oh, we both went for the middle ground here.
Gonna give it a 60, which for me obviously is a pretty good score. It's my second highest at this point. You always give me shit about this when I say this, but this movie is so rewatchable.
No, you were using it as an argument against The Princess Bride. That's where I got mad.
Okay,
This
well,
movie
I
is very
can see
rewatchable.
myself rewatching this movie. Like I said, it's only been about a year that I've, since I first watched this movie, and I've probably seen it 3 times, 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
And watching a movie that many times in just over a year doesn't happen a lot. Doesn't happen with a lot of movies, and this is one you can come back to at any time. Even if you just watch like the last half of this movie, I think you could enjoy it. Or
Yeah, if you just
any part of this movie.
If you just like catch it on cable, I always just like wherever I catch it, I was like, I gotta watch the rest of it. But yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people that are older than us will talk about how movies have had will have second lives and like so many they watched on TV. We haven't really experienced that as much because I don't watch TV. But this is definitely one of those movies where if it was on TV, like you could just turn it on at any point. Keep watching it. Really great acting. One of the great directors of all time, and fantastic acting. Some of the best actors of all time. So
out of
great movie.
Out of Scorsese, Tarantino, and Nolan, which one is your least favorite?
Tarantino is my least favorite as a person.
Not talking about
as a
person.
director. That's tough. Probably Scorsese, honestly.
Yeah, I think I agree. He's got really good movies, but he also has really bad movies, I feel like.
I don't know. There's some of his movies that I really don't like. Gangs of New York.
Yeah.
I don't think Raging Bull is cool, but I don't feel that much of
Oh,
an
you're gonna talk
attraction
about
to it.
Raging Bull? Don't
Yeah.
say that quietly.
Careful.
People come at you.
People love that movie, but I didn't think it was that great, honestly. I know it's although saying that Scorsese is better than Christopher Nolan is kind of
That's not true at all.
It's not true. But we just said Scorsese was our least favorite.
Well, yeah, Christopher Nolan's definitely better than Scorsese. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying, who do you think's better, Christopher Nolan or Martin Scorsese?
Christopher Nolan.
See, that feels very wrong.
Nah, there's
to
so
say.
many Christopher Nolan stands out there, dude.
That feels really wrong to say, though.
I don't think so. I think he's just got better movies. Other than Interstellar, that movie's garbage. But
I like all of Christopher Nolan's movies. I don't like all of Martin Scorsese's movies.
yeah, I agree with that.
There you go. All right. Before we head out, you've been watching anything recently, or?
Yeah, I've been watching a couple things. I finished obviously the How I Met Your Mother, so I had to move on to the other stuff. I've watched a couple movies. I watched Crazy Stupid Love.
Did you watch that for the first time?
Yeah, I was expecting better things, honestly.
Oh, really?
I actually really like Steve Carell, but just the plot of like the underage kids and I don't know, it's kind of uncomfortable and weird. Also watched Forgetting Sarah Marshall, which I hadn't seen before, and I really like that movie. Jason Segel, I think, is actually really underrated. Mila Kunis as well. And yeah, the last thing, I'm actually on the series finale of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
You picked it back up.
Yeah,
Took you a couple months.
I'm on literally the last episode now, so I'll probably watch that in the next couple of days. Yeah. Hopefully, nobody dies and Egg and Katara get together. I don't know what to expect.
Avatar, highly recommend.
Hopefully Mark Hamill dies, but yeah. What have you been watching?
I have not watched, because we're recording this closer to the last episode than we usually do.
Yeah.
I haven't had a lot of time. I watched Kong Skull Island. I actually
did you?
I really do like that movie.
I haven't seen it.
It's got some like dumb BS, action blockbuster lines in it, but it's just really fun. Like, it's a giant monkey that is fighting two-legged lizards, and also Tom Hiddleston and Brie Larson and Samuel L. Jackson.
The whole Marvel cast.
It's pretty fun. Also, John C. Reilly is like,
oh yeah, I forgot he's in that too.
Fantastic in that movie. And then I also watched Bamboozled for one of my classes. Spike Lee movie. It's good, but it's probably not one that you would watch for fun ever.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend checking it out. But yeah, Crazy Stupid Love, I really like that movie a lot. And also, anything that Leonardo DiCaprio has ever made is I would recommend.
You're a big Leo guy.
Big Leo guy.
I picked this movie specifically just because you're a big Leo guy.
All right, so for the next episode, we're actually, I think, going to do something a little bit different. So we're not going to be picking a movie, and we're going to have a guest. So.
Oh no, another guest? Gosh, I hate when guests come on the show.
So be on the lookout for that, and then after that, I will be picking the next movie, which I don't know what we're going to pick. So I was going to honestly pick Crazy Stupid Love at some point, but probably not now. So
We can do it. I got a lot of thoughts on it.
Yeah, it's all right. All right. Thanks for capping with us.
Stay capping, folks. Peace out.